Welcome back to Bizarre Regs, where we dive into the wildest and weirdest laws from around the world. Today, we're hitting the dance floor, or, actually, we're not, because we're talking about a law in Germany that bans public dancing on Sundays and certain holidays. That's right, in some parts of Germany, it's illegal to dance. So what's going on? Let's find out. Now, if you're someone who loves a good night out or maybe even just dancing around in your living room, this law might sound pretty strange. But in Germany, public dancing is actually prohibited on Sundays and certain religious holidays, depending on the region. These are known as quiet days, or stille Tage in German. The reason? These days are reserved for quiet reflection, religious observance, and respect for traditions. And apparently, dancing just doesn't fit the bill. So how did this law come about? Well, it's rooted in Germany's strong Christian traditions, where Sundays and holidays are meant to be peaceful, reflective times. Historically, that meant no loud activities, no parties, and definitely no dancing in public places. It's all about preserving a calm atmosphere so people can rest, attend church, and have a day of quiet. In most German states, the rule applies to both clubs and public events. That means if you're in a club on one of these silent days, you need to put those dancing shoes away until after midnight. Otherwise, the party stops, and the music gets turned down. You might even see signs in bars or clubs warning people that dancing isn't allowed on certain Sundays or holidays. But before you start imagining the dance police patrolling the streets, let's be clear, the law isn't about stopping all fun, it's more about maintaining a balance between celebration and respect. Germany has a long history of observing these quiet times, and while the law might sound extreme to outsiders, it's really about keeping a sense of tradition alive. Of course, there's always some debate about this law, especially in cities like Berlin, where the nightlife scene is legendary. Imagine being at one of Berlin's famous clubs and suddenly having to stop dancing because it's a Sunday or a silent holiday. Many club owners and partygoers find this rule a bit outdated, especially in modern, bustling cities. In fact, every year there's a conversation about whether these restrictions should be loosened or even abolished in some areas. Some states have relaxed the rules slightly, allowing for certain events or venues to get exemptions, but overall, the no dancing law is still in effect in most regions. So what happens if you accidentally break this law? Well, it's unlikely that you face serious consequences for dancing in public on a silent day. Most of the time, it's up to club owners and event organizers to make sure they're following the rules. If you're in a club and it's one of those restricted times, the worst that might happen is the music gets turned down, and you'll be asked to take a break from dancing until the law allows it again. But still, it's a bit surreal to think that in some places, you could get in trouble just for busting out a few moves at the wrong time. So, if you're ever in Germany and planning a night out, make sure to check whether it's a silent day, because no matter how good the music is, you might have to wait until the clock strikes midnight to start dancing again. Thanks for joining me on today's journey into one of Germany's most interesting laws. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more weird and wonderful laws from around the world, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Have you ever heard of a law that bans dancing in your country? Drop it in the comments. This is Bizarre Regs, where we keep the world weird, one law at a time. See you next time.